Alright, so today's video is going to be about Andrew Tate. Interesting figure. I don't mind the guy. I don't think he's all that bad. You know, there's a lot of hate for him. There are some things, big picture, that I think is not good for society. But for the most part, he talks about if you want something, you're going to have to go after it. That you're going to have to work incredibly hard, that it's a battle against yourself, and that you need to stop making excuses. So there are a lot of things that he gets people really fired up. I think the problem comes down to the message around just wanting to get rich will solve all your problems, and that getting more women will solve all your problems. If you don't have any women, if you don't feel that you've got charisma and that you've got something valuable to offer and that you feel that your needs will get listened to, I can understand why having more women in your life would feel amazing, right? Like, if you've got no money or no women, and then all of a sudden someone comes along and says, you can have the woman of your dreams, you can be super rich, all these things, that is awesome to the person who doesn't have it. But eventually what happens is, once that person goes from hope and desire and reaches that desire, they're either going to go two ways. And it sounds like the way that Andrew Tate has gone is he has gone to the extreme on probably both levels. More money, more money, more money, more money, more money. And what they end up doing is they become these workaholics. And the reason in their mind is, I'll get more money. But it's actually like this avoidance strategy. And you see this a lot with fitness. You'll see like a pretty scrawny guy, and then he goes on this journey, right? Which is, he's going to get incredibly fit, muscular, have a lean, aesthetic body. And he probably came from nothing. Like, there's a reason that he strove so hard to do it. He wanted to feel confident, he wanted to feel attractive, all those things. But then he'll get to like a level that's really good, and of course wants to keep pushing himself, but will do it to the extreme. Like, will exercise to the point where internally the traumas still exist. It's actually, and that's why I say that it's an avoidance strategy that an Andrew Tate will take. Because work, yeah, you do need that crazy work ethic to get wealthy and to get rich. Not always, but for the most part, at least on your first million. The problem is it becomes a mask to the pain that sits within. If you keep doing, keep busy, it will distract you from the feelings of shame, the feelings of I am not enough, the feelings of my needs don't get met, the feelings of I won't connect with others, all those things. So it happens on a spectrum. You've got people who are wanting to improve their lives, and then they get to a level and they're like, this is pretty good. I've got enough money. Now I can do the inner work, and I can really look at generational trauma so that it doesn't continue. You can almost guarantee that if someone is getting into a personal growth journey in fitness, in finance, in their body, if they're only focusing on getting the money, on getting the body, on getting the girl, and they're not looking within, even if they get rich, they're still going to have it within them, and those triggers they're going to feel. They're still going to feel that pain. They're still going to feel that sense of, or lack of, fulfillment. And that's just fact. Like, you can't have something damaged and not fix it and think it's going to be okay. Making more money, getting more women, like, Okay, getting a better body, temporarily it's going to feel better, but at some stage, those issues and insecurities will still be there because they were so hardwired in to an infant, to somebody who just absorbs the world around them and creates their framework of reality based on what they experienced in their childhood. So although I do think that he gives people hope, I do think he's got a good message about hard work, because a lot of people just don't want to do the hard work. There are levels to the game, yeah? And generational trauma, the way that it really works is you're backtracking to the conditioning that you got when you were younger. It came from somewhere. Like, people are not born with severe trauma. It's, for the most part, the conditioning and the belief systems and what they were taught is normal when they were younger. Okay, so someone's hit when they're younger, or punished, they're physically hit when they're younger. That's normal, and that's the way that you act when someone does the wrong thing. You go to aggression, for example. So that model was taught by your ancestors. Someone taught your grandfather, who's taught your grandfather, who's taught your grandfather, like that. And that's why it's so difficult for people to break that pattern, because you're talking about generations of trauma, of different patterns, okay? And what you really want to think about is, if you're going to have children, what is it that you actually want to teach them? That's like such a good thing to think about. Rather than, I'm going to get a lot of money, fast car, and then I'm going to get the hottest chick, and then everything's going to be cool. It doesn't work that way. Like, is she just going to teach the children, is she? Like, you want to be a father. You want to be a role model. You want to be someone who is the friend of your child, who your child feels safe around, that they can go to and speak openly about things, that you can support them in the things that they feel passionate about, that you have a connection. And a relationship is about having a connection. So if a lot of trauma is always about the ability to not connect, or not able to connect. So it's all about connection with yourself and with others. And often somebody cannot connect with others until they can connect with themselves. Because then they're out there, who am I? Like, tell me, where are my boundaries? Like, it's just a traumatic mess. And the reason they're not able to connect with themselves is normally from childhood. So the point is, think about it this way. It's all about clearing your traumas. Yes, exercising is a tremendous thing. Learning self-defense is a tremendous thing. Making money and becoming independent from the matrix. Fuck yeah. Go make fucking $10 million, for sure. Go for it. But do the work. Do the inner work. Look at the traumas. Look at the way things were taught to you when younger. Make a list of the things that were disempowering. I still act from this one. This is how I still act from it. Here's how I'm going to change it. Here are the people that are still stepping over my boundaries. Here's what I'm going to do to put in place so that those people know to treat me differently. And if they don't, these are the consequences. You know, you create distance, you cut them off. Just like any bad pattern that you run in your mind, for example, food. Oh, as soon as I feel stressed, I have to eat, you know, a binge food of 3 days of hamburgers or whatever it is. It's the same with people. People create trauma in others, particularly from your childhood. And that's why it's so difficult for people to step away from their family, because, oh, I can't do that. They're my mother and my father, or my sister and my brother and whoever. Pick the ones that support you. Pick the ones that already have healthy relationships. It's very difficult to put in place with someone who's acted for a very long time in a certain way, and then you come and you go, we should have a healthy dynamic. Very difficult. So you have to learn to distance yourself. And what I'm saying is, it's no different from the food thing, right? If you're eating the burgers and you're binging, you just go, that's the behavior. I shouldn't be doing that. If I want a healthy body, if I want to get the results from working out, energy-wise, my body, my mind, I have to stop that pattern. So it's the same with people. If you've got someone putting you down all the time, you're not going to hang around with them, because it's just going to damage your soul. It's going to deplete your energy. It's going to hurt your self-esteem. It's going to make your boundaries weak. That's the way this stuff works. This is how to get healthy. This is how to... And you're going to get so much more rich once you do the inner work. You're going to get such better relationships with the right people. You're going to get in the best shape of your life when you do this work. Because when you do this work, it's all about looking at your shame and seeing what you deserve. And seeing what you deserve, or knowing what you deserve, is really about knowing what your needs are. If you know that your needs are to have a loving, caring, compassionate person in your life, as in friendship or relationship or whatever it may be, and you're not getting that, your needs are not getting met. If you've got people who manipulate you, use you, put you down in relationships, your needs are not getting met. So define what your needs are. Same with a business. If your staff are lazy, if your staff are not passionate, yes, this in a business scenario is all about who you become as a leader and being able to define it. But the point is, you have to define the people that you want around you first. Then you have to go about finding them. And a part of that is pushing that one away. And then this new one comes in, just like old habits, just like food habits, as the example. So I guess that's all I have to say. Andrew Tate's a bit of a motivational speaker, to be honest. People like to be motivated when they're feeling down. Ultimately, the motivation has to come from yourself. It has to be this deep sense of, I deserve it. When you deserve it, you'll put the hard work in. You'll get up and you'll take the actions. And when you define what you want, you will take those actions. You will feel that you deserve it. If you want a beautiful woman in your life and you feel that you don't deserve it, when she walks past, when she sits down at the cafe, you're not going to go and talk to her. When the business opportunity presents itself, or you see the vision for it and you know that you need to take these steps, if you feel that you don't deserve it, if your worth is not enough, if you don't find yourself valuable, if you don't believe in what you do, you're not going to pursue them. You're not going to call them on the phone. You're not going to email them 5 times to try and get a meeting. You're just not going to put the work in if you haven't defined it and you don't feel like you deserve it. It's a fact. You can paint it whatever way you like. So don't mask yourself. Don't band-aid yourself with keeping busy for the sake of keeping busy. Keep busy because you're pursuing the things that you have defined that you need, that you want, that you feel will fulfill you. You got to do it for yourself. Rant over.